This episode of Pucks Out Podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Action 24/7, Tennessee's only local legal sports. Use code Pucks Out when you make your first deposit, and our friends over at Action 24/7 will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. That's right, up to $400 extra when you use code Pucks Out. And yet again, there are some amazing promos daily over on Action's app. Check them out. Check out our Twitter, Instagram, and their Twitter and Instagram to be kept up to date on all the best promos throughout the week. And did you know you can gamble with cash? Are you tired of waiting on your sports book? You won but can't get your money? No more waiting with Action 24/7. Check out the link in the show description to figure out how you can get a cash deposit withdrawals. Once again, use code PUCKSOUT, that's PUCKSOUT, when you make your first deposit, and Action 24/7 will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. What are you waiting for?
From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome in to the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Heyo.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer. Let's get after it. And don't forget, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Check them out every Tuesday in Murfreesboro for trivia night and Thursday for bingo night. And tell them Pucks Out sent you. How you doing this week, bud?
Doing pretty good. Excuse me. Doing pretty good, man. Just tired from this past week, man. I have been going. So, good holiday weekend. Had a good time. Not so great into the soccer game, but a great start to it that we went to. Good food. Just a good little holiday weekend, man. Birthday coming up tomorrow,
I was about to say, it's your birthday week.
I've been keeping it low key though. 31, that's a week birthday. So,
My wife's kind of scared me this morning. I'm sitting on the computer. You and I were texting back and forth, and she's like, "Hey, don't forget today's Brandon's birthday." I was like, no. She's like, "Yeah, today's the 6th." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?"
At least she knew.
she thought 4th of July was on Sunday, so she thought yesterday was the 5th. And I'm like, no. And I'm like scrambling to look at it. I'm like, I've been talking to them all day, and I haven't told them about. And they're like, okay, no, today's the 5th.
Well, it's good. It's good to know. It's good to know that she knows when my birthday is, but does not know what day it is.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. We, get your priorities straight, probably. But she was like, "Oh my god, I'm supposed to be at work."
She was at work. That's crazy.
Oh, she's like rushing out the door. She's like, "I have got to call some people." And she's like, I've shut off some stuff that I should not have shut off. Hell yeah, man. How about you?
Yeah.
How about you, bro?
Pretty good, man. We went to the soccer game on Sunday. It was a fun game, fun time. Got a little rowdy. The first half was a lot of fun. The last 30 minutes of the game, not as fun, but hey, live sports is live sports. And, it's crazy that I've always thought it was wild that July is like, for a country that takes sports so seriously, that July, which is supposed to be like a patriotic month, there's very little live sports happening in the month of July.
Week, unless you like baseball.
It's like, I'm sitting there on 4th of July at my mom's house. We're grilling up. I'm in the pool. I'm like, there are no sports on really that I can just throw on and have on. I want some sports on, man.
No, I mean it's like you could, if you wanted to watch baseball, but you said you wanted to watch sports, so that rules that out right there. The other day, Steph and I were just having some bushwhackers at Plantation right down the street from us or whatever. And there's 2 games on and 2 options for me to sit here and watch and gamble on. And it was baseball and the WNBA. So I'm watching the WNBA, and it's not,
of course,
it's not nearly as tedious or boring as baseball is. So I will say that, and now as far as, get me to a live baseball game. We need to go to a Sounds game. And you know what I'm saying? Like, baseball should only be played live. They shouldn't televise it. until the
100%.
world until the World Series. It should be like 1920 again for baseball. Like where if you want to know, you go and buy a newspaper and you find out
Yeah.
who won in baseball.
Yeah. Well, and if you're really, really rich, you get a radio.
You get you get, I will permit you listening to him on the radio. That's fine.
But it has to be.
And
It can't be a. You can't hear
no,
good things like Castellano, Homos. It has to be like and here comes Jeter down the third base line.
we should specify the radio you get cannot be purchased. It cannot be new. It had to have been out
Yeah,
when baseball started coming
you
on the
have
radio.
in order to you have to first find a Radio Shack. Go to the Radio Shack and pay in only cash.
No, we're gonna make it more difficult. Circuit City. That's where you gotta go.
Oh,
You gotta find a
oh
circuit.
shit!
You gotta find a Circuit City, and then only then, and then only then will us as two people who love to let people enjoy things that they love, and then you can watch the sport that you enjoy. But after that, you're out, partner. You're done.
uh, don't forget to check us out on Patreon to get all the early bits and the show a day early and all the uncut and uncensored stuff. And check us out on Twitch. I'm starting to get a little bit of a schedule kind of put down. We're a good bit into streaming now. For the most part, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and I want to say Thursdays from about 9:30 p.m. to about 3:30 a.m. Check us out. We'll have some special streams going on. We're going to have our
Yeah,
Seattle
some stuff
Kraken
coming up.
expansion
Right.
7-game series. Working on some stuff with that. But yeah, it's a good time. Drink some beer, hang out, watch some video games, and just
What
kind of chit chat.
what you wearing, bruh? What you got?
I got that Oilers sweater on today, man, and my
Okay,
Washington
okay,
football team hat.
okay.
Now this is a relic because they're no longer Washington football team technically. Even though I love the name, love the Washington football team name.
I don't know
But
how to break this to you, Bobby, but they've always been a football team.
in some years I
Ah!
beg you to differ.
Fair enough. Well, they got paid like football team though.
Yeah,
So yeah. So just keeping it clean with the flat colored polo, the dark blue, the Titans blue, if you will. And then the Nordiques. I wanted to kick it a little old school.
wow.
We don't have hockey anymore.
Yeah.
Quebec doesn't have hockey
Yeah.
anymore.
You've
So
got the Titans blue and the Oilers blue on.
and the Oilers blue, and then also those dope red jerseys that the Titans did for a
Yeah.
little while.
Yeah.
uh, you
Uh,
know, kicking it. It's again 4th of July, just kicking it with my boys, the Dream Team. So what's up,
but
man?
all right, let's head into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
The San Jose Sharks make history in the league. They hire Mark Guire. I want to say it like that. Mark Guire is the new general manager, the first black person to
Grier?
ever hold that position.
I'd say Grier. Yeah, Grier.
Grier? Yeah.
It sounded
The
like
first
you were
black person to
saying
ever
Mike
hold that position.
McGuire. It sounded like Mike McGuire.
First black person to ever hold that position in the NHL. The NHL is the last of the 4 major sports to ever have to have their first black general manager. So
Yeah,
time. I want to say that the last major sport I want to say was football in like the 70s or something like that. Like it's been a minute.
maybe. I'm trying to think. Like I'm not familiar. Like you said before the show, I'm not going to take credit for this, but I mean, it just feels like wow, I just can't believe that this hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
You had said wow, I didn't. I mean, you were kind of taken aback by it, like I was. Like I mean, that's not a.
Yeah.
It's 2022. You said like the 70s, where you think is when the last one had like that's like 50 years ago. So
um
good place to go GM, right? Though I mean San
yeah.
Jose, I got you some nice weather, dope team logo at least.
Hell yeah.
Some pieces there.
Yeah.
Not a team that has been uh traditionally horrific. I mean this is a team that's made some splashes in the past 15 years or so. So uh a good job to get, I would say. I mean, we didn't think they
Oh
would
yeah.
be as bad the past 2 years as they have been with the talent that they had there. So Congratulations to him, but I hope he's terrible and that the Sharks lose every game. No offense to him or no
uh,
offense to him or anything, but I hope everybody loses every game besides my team. So
we have some trade news. Tampa Bay Lightning have traded veteran defenseman Ryan McDonough to the Nashville Predators on Sunday to clear space under the NHL salary cap. The Predators sent defenseman Felipe Myers and forward Grant Mismash to the Lightning for the 33-year-old McDonough, who waived his no trade clause to make the deal happen. McDonough has 4 more seasons on his contract, $6.75 million AAV coming around the block. That's a good pickup. I think that could
yeah,
be it's a top. I'd say that's a good top pairing D lineman with Yossi.
yeah.
I mean, having that veteran leadership in there who's won some Stanley Cups, I mean, it doesn't hurt.
And I'd say probably running him with Ekholm would be my thought process.
Yeah,
Run and keep running Fabro with Yossi, a couple guys that
yeah,
got together. But I mean, again, one of those things that probably a little bit more money than I'd like to be paying a defenseman coming in, with contracts needed on some other key players.
yeah.
But like you
And
said, I
he
mean, as
could,
far as
yeah,
the player wise move, that's a great
yeah,
fit, I think.
yeah. And I mean, listen, he made it very clear when he did his interview, and the team also kind of supported that he last year he did not want to waive his no trade clause. He had a list of very few teams he was willing to waive it for, and Nashville was one of those teams. So it's always good to get that kind of player who
Yeah,
wasn't forced to come here. He wants to be here. He waived that on his own accord, and now I mean, what's left for the Preds is we got to get Bill Forsberg. Forsberg's got to be signed, man.
you got to be signed,
And
or you
I mean,
got to have a piece coming in that's
yeah.
not him. I mean,
Yeah, I
something.
mean, it's I now at the same time, if there's a good chance that maybe we hold on to McDonough for a little bit and use him as an asset at the trade deadline, if we're just if who
Maybe.
knows?
Maybe, but I mean,
Hmm.
again, it seems like he would have to waive another no trade clause for that to happen, right? I mean, I would
Yeah,
imagine
possibly. I don't
contracts
know what
coming
the
over.
details are.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I like the move. We'll see. It's definitely a surprise. It's not a move a team that is dead set on rebuilding makes.
Yeah,
So I mean, it should at very least be a sign that, hey, we're not just gonna flap in the wind here and just try to push through and get a good draft pick, that we're willing to make a potentially more dangerous move money wise, to get a guy in here that can help us win, that has won, that's gone and won
yeah,
cups before. So um I like it. I like the move.
yeah. That's about. There's not much news inside the NHL. The season just wrapped up. A little bit later in the show, we will be talking about all the awards and compare it to our midseason award predictions. But let's go ahead and move to outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
And still the world champion, Joey Chestnut. What is this? Is this 15th championship?
Oh,
Uh,
it's a whole lot. He holds like
I
80
mean,
some odd
he's like,
record.
yeah, I mean, the man, this
Get
is,
it in the boot.
I believe it's I believe it's 16. I mean, he dwarfs Tom Brady's Super Bowls. I mean, just
And
an
the problem
absolute
is,
legend.
the bigger problem with it, and not problem, I guess, problem for other people, is that it's not even like this is a competition. I mean, he dusts them by like 20 hot
Yeah.
dogs every year, man.
The competition
Kobayashi
and
gave him a
yeah,
little run for
yeah,
a
the
little while.
competition, I believe, and they even talked about this when I was watching some of the replays, is who gets second.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, that was
that is
the
the real
race.
competition now.
That
Is because
was
if
a
you get
race.
second place, that is something to be said about getting second place now. I
He ate
mean,
60, what was it, 62 hot dogs. I mean,
something like that.
the over under for him was like 74 and a half. I
Yeah.
mean, and I
Now
mean, to be
and
fair, well, you're not even bringing up the fact that the man that you showed me a video, I got into it a little later than this happened. I mean, he was at 12 hot dogs, so this was 15 seconds into the thing. Um,
yeah,
he gets attacked by a protester. And you were right. He threw him off, and that
yeah,
motherfucker, and that dude threw in like 3 more hot dogs, like right after,
yeah.
just like in a
I
battle.
did see that some betting sites pushed the bet the over under because
Attack.
because yeah, because even, and he has said in the past, so Joe Chestnut says that it is such a rhythm, like it's you get
Yeah,
going, it's boom boom boom, and when you fuck that up, it can, and it's kind of like stuttering a little bit, and it's hard to get that rhythm and momentum going. So I think
that's
some betting sites,
I
just had avoided the bet if it was an
no,
over under bet.
I don't think it was offered anywhere in Tennessee because I tried
Yeah,
to get it on. I did see where on the social section, somewhere where somebody had posted a bet where they got it, and so I knew it was on available places, but I could not find it anywhere in Tennessee. Action didn't have it or anything like that, so
yeah,
that was very saddening because I was willing to throw some cash dollars on him
yeah,
munching down some hot dogs, but super cool. Not, and I mean he had the boot on, so this is like his flu game. It's
yeah.
Michael Jordan flu game, Kurt Schilling sock, Joey Chestnut's boot. Okay, those are three pieces of sports history that will never be touched.
Yeah. Upcoming college football changes. We talked a little bit about this on Thursday at before the Motley Crue concert, which I don't think we got to talk much about. It was an amazing concert,
Yep,
a lot of fun.
yep.
A little bit of rain delay, a little bit of you had yourself a little bit of wine. It
Two
was a
bottles,
good
baby.
time.
Let's go.
Yeah. But the Pac-12 and the Big 12 and stuff, there's going to be some change ups, and we're going to talk a little bit about this when we get some more info on it, and teams are kind of settled, but it looks as though we are in the beginning stages of the Pac-12 and the Big 12 and stuff like that start coming apart, and there's going to be, at first they're saying three big conferences of the ACC, the SEC, and the Big Ten. Then they could see eventually the ACC then also splitting into, and they're saying that by 2026 is when they think that the Pac-12 and Big 12 will be gone. We're seeing, because two
That's when
teams,
a
I
lot
believe
of those
UCLA,
contracts end.
yeah, their TV contracts are ending soon, and teams have already made it. I think UCLA said they want to join the Big Ten. USC, I think they said they wanted to join the SEC or something.
So,
Um,
after we talked a little bit about it, I saw, some discussion on CFB on the college football subreddit, and it was so funny that there were, people that are spitting mad about this, about how you're gonna destroy and place these rivalries cross country, and and how it really ruined West Virginia is now a rival of Kansas, and what is that all about, and how are you going to split up Oregon State and UCLA or like somebody else. And then somebody was like commented to their comment and said, man, it's super funny when you take this guy's argument and all that he's saying and realize that Lawrence, Kansas is closer to West Virginia University than Oregon State is to UCLA. Like they're like by like 6 or 7 hours. Like we could drive from one to the other in 6 hours quicker than this storied rivalry that's gonna hurt the fan base on the west coast of football, man. Like we're talking about a city, the second most populous city in the whole entire country, and it has barely been able to sustain an NFL team. And you want to tell us about the
yeah.
storied football that the West Coast gives? I don't
I
know,
will
man.
say though that listen, I will say though that USC is a pretty storied
It's a blue
franchise.
blood. Don't get me wrong. It's a
Yeah,
blue
I
blood.
mean, I don't think USC has ever struggled. I think USC is getting caught in the
They don't.
crosshairs here.
They don't. I mean, when they were winning national championships, they were, but I don't think they're filling their
Yeah,
stadium. I mean, that's the big thing.
really.
That's the big thing. You live in a city. You live in a city of like 4 million people, and struggle to put 90,000 people in the seats. And then you go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where the whole state doesn't have 2 million, have four
Yeah,
million people, and they're putting 90K in Bryant Denny anytime, a red and
yeah,
blue game, a red and white game, whatever, they're gonna put them in the seat. It's just a different mindset, I mean, so I don't want to hear about your storied, programs. Though, hey,
yeah.
USC is a valued, storied program as much as I have a distaste for them. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is nobody is tuning in for the Oregon State UCLA game on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah. But now I will say that I think a lot of teams outside of like Alabama and Auburn are having like, even I'm reading this right now, even Notre Dame, probably without a doubt blue blood, one of the most. I mean, they are a legacy in college football. Their sellout streak ended like in 2000. I think COVID really kind of, and I think even before then, like just prices of everything, especially in a place like Los Angeles. As I mean, like the Coliseum started selling alcohol at games to get people to come.
Yeah.
Um, but
I'm saying,
yeah, I mean, I think that they're not competing with the SEC fan base and filling their stadiums like that. But it also could be that
this
there's
could do it.
really nothing else to do in Alabama. You got college football. That's about it. Yeah.
That's absolutely something. But I mean, do you think that, I mean, any SEC fan base, do you think that they're going to stop selling out games no matter what city what city they're in?
I mean, any SEC fan base. I don't know. Vanderbilt would like to have a word.
I said SEC fan base. What do you? They don't have a fan base, Bobby.
Oh, all three of them.
No, they're not. They don't even. They would rather see those three people would rather see Tennessee lose than Vanderbilt win. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, main topic for today, we are looking at the award winners for the this year's NHL season. Every year we do our preseason prediction, and then halfway point of the year we come back and we have a chance to correct them with some rules and stuff in place. This year, the rules was if you have a player who's injured, you are allowed to change them if they were like your triple down player. A little confusing, but all you need to know is we didn't make any changes. So we
explained all that. We explained all that in the mid season.
Yes.
At this point, they just need to know who dominated, right?
Yes. So going down the list, we're going to start up with the we're going to start
playing
with the
golf
cup
rules
winner,
this year.
My cup winner, I had the Avs, so I got that right.
Nice.
You had the Islanders.
So I was I was right there. I was almost there on you.
Right there. Yeah.
You would have been super embarrassed if I would have won that, okay?
Yeah. you should have left out the I, just put New York. You would have been a little bit closer.
Yeah. And I mean, I even had a chance to change them. I can't believe I did not. That seems weird that I wouldn't have changed it. But I mean,
yeah.
Neither here nor there. Go Isles, baby.
Yeah. The President Cup, I had the Avs, which was close, but no cigar. Florida Panthers took it. You had the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, another bad pick. Beginning of the year, a Cinderella pick for both of those guys. Couldn't make it happen. Another L for me. But luckily, we got a little bit of a streak of you also taking a few L's with me here. Too. So what do you got on the heart?
Yeah. The heart, I got Connor McDavid. I think you've got Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, and I think
it was Austin Matthews.
I think we've even talked about this. I think either one of our cats should have won over Austin Matthews. Personal opinion.
Yes.
That's just me. So for the Calder, we both had Cole Caulfield, and he was 9th in the voting, which again, if we're playing golf rules, that's pretty close to no go. Nope. So we both missed that one.
I mean, if you want, we can both give it to us, so we can both get it right.
Well, all right. Well, we'll take the point. Well, who did end up winning that?
Moritz Seider, I believe.
You said Detroit, right?
Yes. Yeah, Moritz Seider from Detroit. And then
Vezina.
With the Vezina, I had Vasilevsky. You had
Vasilevsky.
You had Vasi, and that was your triple down.
And that was my triple down. So
yeah, it was Igor Shesterkin. So yeah, we both got that wrong. Listen, Vasi's a smart pick. I mean, I don't know if I'll pick him for next year's. I might go Igor Shesterkin. I think he might double down on it. But I think
I'm just going to keep picking Vasi until he wins it. Yeah. At this point, I'm locked in. Maybe I won't triple down on it next time. But so after the Vezina, we have the Norris, and we have one where we both got it. Kel McCarr kept it.
Yeah.
Kept it that way. wasn't a change. Uh, so great. I mean, yeah, I don't think it was changed, right? I mean,
No,
we would have
we didn't make any
notated
changes
it.
because this year, I think we said we could only change our triple down.
Oh, really? I thought we
I
always
think
go
that's what
through a
we.
mid season and switch them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, both got Kale McCarr for the Norris. Again, another one that I don't know that I even think that he should have won the Norris. I think that Yossi should have won it. But
I agree.
hey, hard to hard to argue. Hard to argue with what that guy did this year, though. So
Yeah, the Conn Smythe winner, Stanley Cup champion, Norris Trophy. I mean, they were talking. I was watching ESPN today. PK Subban was talking. He said he was talking with Roman Yossi the other day, and PK thinks that, and I kind of agree with him. He could see Cole Caulfield, if he stays healthy, winning the next 6 Norris trophies. And I mean, that
Kale
is,
McCarr.
I mean,
Kale McCarr.
yeah. I mean,
So
I
Cole
wouldn't be
Caulfield.
surprised if that is something. Sorry, Kale McCarr.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kale McCarr could win the next 6 Norris. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to argue.
possible. It's hard to
It's
argue, but
hard.
that's
6 is a
yeah.
lot.
6 is a whole lot, and also that's just somebody sitting on an analyst booth wanting to say something that's, hey, this is mildly plausible, but just a crazy take. So we're sitting here and we're talking about it now. It's gonna be hard to win even back to backs, I think. I mean, he could do
Yeah,
it. I'm not saying he can't, but I mean, the competition's there.
yeah,
Hedman's been a finalist for 5 years in a row. You know, you're a finalist 5 years in a row. Eventually, things fall your way a couple of times here and there. So 6 in a row, I think that's crazy. Do I think that this man could end up with 6 total in his career? Absolutely. I think that's a much more plausible a call. I think you've made that call before, 6, 7, something
yeah.
along those lines.
I said I thought he would win 3, the next 3, but
That's
yeah,
right.
man, I didn't
That's
go as
right.
far as 6.
That's
But
a whole lot.
yeah.
Art Ross. Who
Art
we got?
Ross. I think I had we both had Connor McDavid, and that was my triple down.
Yeah, and
So I got,
so right there, boom, 6 points. So hard to beat that. Um, I also
after
had
that we got
the points. Yeah, but Selke, we should have just chalked it because that's the way she goes. But we both missed that. I think Patrice Selke Bergeron
yeah.
Bergeron won that. I had Alexander Barkov. You
We got
had
cute. We got cute for some reason and didn't go with Bergeron.
well, it wasn't Bergeron the past couple years. Remember, I
Yeah,
think Kopitar won it, and then last year I
yeah,
think Barkov won it. Um, man, Barkov fell off towards the end of the year because that was a
yeah,
good early pick, and then I mean it's the Selkie.
yeah,
So you had
yeah,
Mark
and
Stone. He was
yeah,
hurt at least, so at least
yeah.
at
Yeah.
least you have a
And Brad
excuse.
Marchand said something toward at the awards ceremony that I kind of agree with. He was like, I could see in 10 years or whenever Bergeron retires, them renaming the Selkie to the Bergeron Award. I mean,
We've talked about it. I
I think
think
we
on
did. I
here
think we talked about it off air. I
maybe
thought
we
we talked
did
about
off
it in
air.
person.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I don't know about I don't know if they'd ever do it. Maybe they would, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think probably just leave it as is. Maybe invent a new award for the guy.
Yeah. Uh, like once after you win 3, then you win the Bergeron Award.
Yeah, you got then you're eligible for upgrade.
Yeah. You can take them in and trade them in to get a 1 trophy.
you gotta spread the love around. You got 3. You don't need to be winning that trophy anymore. You got to
Yeah.
start going up to a higher level. Start winning that
Yeah.
trophy.
The Jack Adams. I had John Cooper. You had Barry Trotz. I didn't see who won it. Dale Suter won it. So we both were wrong on that. Rocket Richard both got this one. Austin Matthews. I mean, I think at the halfway he was pretty clear he had that locked in. But yeah, I think that's a good pick because it very easily could. I mean, and I think our only reason we didn't say McDavid or Draisaitl is just because they're playing on the same team. So they're split.
Yeah,
They're split
yeah. I
on that.
mean, that was probably it. And then GM of the year has not been decided, but we do not have the finalist. So
Yeah. I had Joe Sakic. You had Julian Bisbra. And so they're not any of the finalists,
amazing,
so we got that wrong.
amazing to me that that a guy that takes a team to the Stanley, has sets up a roster, wins 2 Stanley Cups, goes to a third. Didn't win a GM of the Year award in any of those, so
or it didn't get nominated this year.
not even nominated this year. So I feel like I'm robbed. I'm gonna put the whole midseason awards in protest. So you can take your symbolic, oh well, technically I won, but realistically it's held up in, our court system. So sorry, Bob. I made it seem like I was gonna take it gracefully before we started. I'm not. This is garbage. So
But all right, it's time to move in to joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. See, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
Holy shit! I'm reading this. This person is batshit fucking nuts. Why don't you tell us what the?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read the highlight. The mom. Okay. New dad taken aback by wife's creepy baby name decision. I'm considering divorce. So again, I just saw that. That's obviously dope headline. A perfect joke of the week headline. Bobby, why don't you actually tell us a little bit about what the heck's going on here?
Okay, so this is from a "Am I the Asshole" thread in Reddit. So
it's fake.
You already know it's gonna be fucking nuts.
And it's not even real. These people don't exist. But it's in a news article, and we're not pulling it straight from Reddit. Okay, so this is not us. What's going on?
So a man and wife trying to get pregnant, and they had a deal that when they got pregnant, that if they have a boy, the wife would get to choose the full name. And I'm assuming if it was a girl, the dad got to choose the full name.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Dynamic.
This is America.
Not my cup of tea, but you know what? Nothing crazy. It seems like they agreed on it. That's fine.
That's what happens in their bedroom, as long as it's not MLB, is fine with us.
And he was fine with the deal. The husband was fine with the deal, and they both had a veto. One veto in case the other one just had a crazy name that they didn't like. Makes sense. Got to have that in place.
Shouldn't just have the one.
Once they get
shouldn't just have the one.
Yeah.
Should have unlimited.
Yeah, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna name it Chalupa.
You should be.
Okay, well, you
should be. You should be the president of the United States when it comes to vetoing your child's name. I'm just saying.
Yes. Ahead. Now I want to be clear. This next thing, they did not go and they did not get an ultrasound to be given the sex of the baby. The mother said that she just knows, that a mother knows, and she just knew it was a boy. Knew it was a boy. The baby shower, the pregnant lady demanded masculine gifts. Everything had to be blue. And she was like, "Oh, we're having a boy." The mother-in-law knew it was a boy. Her entire family was convinced of it during the baby shower. Yeah, the mother-in-law had started knitting things with the name my wife had chosen. They're not giving the name yet. Once the baby came, they saw it was a girl. Shocker!
So her premonition, this awesome lady's premonitions wasn't enough.
The husband was ecstatic. The husband was ecstatic. He said he wanted a boy and a girl. But he had always imagined his firstborn to be a girl. The wife seemed happy but was exhausted. Obviously, the husband wrote the name on the birth certificate that they had ran by if it was a girl.
Right. He didn't want to get vetoed.
Now a year later. They've been using that name. He came home from work, and his wife, the mother, and the mother-in-law were talking about his daughter, but they were using a different name. When he inquired who they were talking about, they kind of went in deer in headlights and blurted out that they were talking about the daughter. When I asked why they were using another name, the mother-in-law said, because that's what we decided to name her. The mother-in-law said, and I quote, "That's what we decided to name her."
Because when you get married and you have a kid, it's you.
Then the mother went on and ran about how it's unfair that the husband got to choose the name, how it's completely unsuitable for her. He said, "I was shocked because this was the first time anyone had claimed any objections to the name. When they ran through it, she did not use the veto on it." And now they're realizing the reason that the 1-year-old has trouble recognizing the name and kind of going is that both parents are calling them different names. I want to get to the point. Okay. I told her that the opportunity to veto any name is long gone, and she can't expect me to support something that's stupid. Blah blah blah. But the one she wants a very odd feminine version of the name she chose a feminine version of the name of the boy's name, and they're still not getting to it. Imagine using a female version of the name Drake or Thomas. I'm still just looking for the name. They're not giving us a name, and that is honestly the blue balling me here.
That
They're
is
just edging me here.
This is right. This is creepy. Listen to your instincts. So, like, yeah, the name change thing is creepy that she would want to do it. Okay, so I guess the baby name decision was the decision to just like decide to not respect his decision and change it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to that actual thread and see if I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it just leads to it just led to the "Am I the asshole?" Reddit. It didn't lead to the specific thread. But they're not giving the name of the child, which makes sense because it's a child. They probably don't want to put it, and it's probably a very unique name.
We could make it up. I'm thinking it's like a masculine version or feminine version of Drake or Thomas. I'm thinking it's like Eminema.
Dracania.
Eminema.
It's a fucking dragon.
This is creepy. Listen to your instinct. She shows you that you can't trust her. Okay. So not as funny as we had originally, because I want to know what the name is, but super weird thing to do. You hit pretty much the creepiest aspect of the whole thing when the mother-in-law was like, "This is what we decided to do."
I found the actual thread because they linked the comments.
Okay.
I'm looking for the actual like thing. So it doesn't.
What you're gonna want to do? What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna go to the original poster name and go to his comments, so we can get where he commented. We're sleuthing
by
here.
okay to we're getting in on this. Oh, whoa, okay, time out. First comment I see is, well, my father-in-law told me about the possible diagnosis because my wife may be dangerous to our daughter. What is happening here?
Did we just stumble onto like a Casey Anthony thing? This is I'm not
this might be too real for joke of the week. I'm
so sorry, everybody. I just thought I was
One month ago, someone said at least your wife is getting the help she needs, and take your father-in-law's warning in its weight and its gold. Do not let your mother-in-law with your kid unless you are there. Apparently the mother-in-law has a diagnosis that has an issue, and then apparently the wife. Okay, so this got dark.
This is super, everybody, we're super sorry. We're not trying to make light of very serious things. I thought we were going to get something like they named their kid Seesaw or something like that. All right.
Yeah.
Or like,
we really should start scanning. At least
we probably should, or just not read it. Just not read it. If we just keep pretending.
Just make up a story based on the name.
Really thought that they were going to name their like we were going to come in and find out like she changed the kid's name to like Featherstone or like Diagnosis or pedo, anything, but finding out that there's some whole other stuff going on there. Basically, let's probably just like not go in the No Parenting website anymore. It's banned. You bring a joke of the week from a parenting website, it's out. You're blacklisted. You're like Chili's to me. Okay, you're done.
You made the list.
You're out. Oh, but what a joke!
All right, yeah, what an absolute joke. Well, let's quickly move on to our pop culture. We did not do Summer of Bond because we forgot. But we are, what a better way to kick off the first week back of Summer of Bond is us forgetting to do it. So instead, we are going to be looking over the Thor Love and Thunder trailer, which I am super excited for. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I have watched this thing a couple times now. It is so good. Have you had a chance to watch it yet?
Yeah, I've watched it once. I haven't rewatched it. But I, premise-wise, got it. Ready. Loving it. loving everything that
Yeah.
we're seeing. I mean, whoo! I'll tell you.
Jane Foster.
Buff Natalie Portman doing it for me, bro. Jane Foster getting it. She could get it, no problem. But I'm seeing
Yeah.
we got what is it? Korg? Is Korg his
Yeah.
buddy?
Korg. Yeah.
Korg is
Yeah.
there. Obviously, anytime you get the
Voiced
Guardians
by Taki
together,
Waititi, who's also directing it.
and I mean, did such a good job on the last Thor. Love that. I mean, Chris Hemsworth
Yeah.
is the perfect character for this. I'm jazzed, man. I'm really, really looking forward to having
Yeah.
having
I'm
this
excited to
Thor,
see
new
yeah, I'm
Thor,
excited to see the
obviously.
God Butcher. Yeah, I'm excited to see the God Butcher. Unlike the comics, they gave him a nose, which honestly I'm happy about. Because, like, for example, if you look at like the way, like in Harry Potter, Voldemort Voldemort's character design looked bad. I get they didn't want to,
Yeah.
like, in the books, I think he had a snake for a nose, but like
Yeah.
they should
Well,
have
it
just
was
given
just
him his
like
nose.
slits. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that hey, it's a very,
And Christian
very
Bale's face,
minor.
yeah. And Christian Bale's face is so angular that he looks more menacing with the nose.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
very,
yeah,
very
I'm super
small
excited.
change to make if that's the biggest change that
Yeah.
they're going
I'm
from like
also
the
excited to
original.
see how this might introduce the symbiotes because I think it's called the Necro Sword, what that Gore the God Butcher carries is
Mhm.
made up of the same material that symbiotes are made out of
Okay, so
in the
that
comics.
probably
So
uh,
while the symbiotes are still under Sony, they don't really, in this one they don't really have to go into it, but they can kind of tease it a little bit and kind of get us ready to bring in the symbiotes into the world.
probably
I
probably end credit cut scene.
Yeah,
We could
more than
probably
likely.
get a little something finally to kind of wet our whistle
Um,
on it. So
and so one thing that I also noticed was that in the very first scene, the people that Korg are talking to are those blue-faced tribesmen. That is, I believe, the Centaurians or something like that, or that is the same tribe that Yondu is from. So that would make sense
okay,
why the Guardians are there, because
hmm
of their kinship with Yondu, and Yondu is from Alpha Centauri 4, and in the Eternals, they talked about how Alpha Centauri 6 was destroyed by the the gods or whatever, by whatever.
yeah.
Um and so I'm wondering if Gore the God Butcher is from Alpha Centauri 6, and that is why he has a hatred for the gods and wants to kill all the gods in this storyline.
Maybe so. I mean,
You can see in one of the shots that you can see all the planets in the background. I'm wondering if
Bobby,
we're going to see like the
Bobby,
remains of Alpha Centauri
Bobby.
6.
I'm just gonna take you down like 3 notches, buddy. I want to have a fun conversation about this after we've both seen it, and you're hyping yourself up for a lot of stuff that
Oh, I'm hyped.
absolutely may come to fruition. But you named about 10 things, and I'm thinking they probably cherry picked like 2 or 3 of those things, dude.
Yeah.
And so just be happy with those 2 or 3 things. We've already been through this on WandaVision, okay? You hyped yourself up a whole lot. And then you even really hyped yourself up after a couple of episodes, and then by episode 6, you're sulking, and us having a conversation was more
I
difficult.
am ready. I am ready to be hyped, and I'm also ready to be filled with salt. All
Yeah,
right.
sure. Well,
Like
there's
I see movies like I'm a good margarita. I'm hyped up, sometimes a little too salty on the brim.
that's fair. That's fair. But just go in. I just want you to temper your own expectations for your own enjoyment. Okay, this is a Thor movie.
Expectations untempered.
Jane Foster returns. We get Korg. We get, all the things that I've mentioned. It's going to be dope. I'm super jazzed about it. Not as jazzed about next week doing a James Bond movie. So,
All
got
right, we're gonna move
nothing.
on to what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
Ooh, I found out about this as I was coming in here to record. My wife yelled out and said, "Hey, you're gonna miss the Preds preseason opener." I said, "Oh, that kind of sucks." She's like, "Yeah, we're gonna be in Annapolis for my sister's wedding." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, no big deal. It's preseason." She's like, "Oh yeah, it's also the doubleheader." I was like, "What?" It's like, oh,
Ah,
the second year in a row I missed the damn doubleheader. because I'm out of town. And I mean, I love that. That is one of my favorite events of the year is that doubleheader, man. It is so much fun because you get to just drink the whole time between the games. And it's just it's a great time. And it's a preseason game. So like if you lose, you're not leaving there all sad if you lose. You're just
right
because you're shit faced. Yeah. But what do you got?
Man, I don't even have anything this week. That you're gonna miss the doubleheader, I guess. I mean, that's pretty sad to me. But I don't have anything specific. That's snapping my stick. I mean, I'm sure I do. I never remember. I always just complain about stuff and then I just forget about it later on. So
yeah, I'm the same way. I have to start writing.
I guess when you're leaving places drunk these days, there's not as many places to go eat after. There's not as many places open. So I guess that would be snapping my stick. But that's more of an understandable problem. That is, more as a deeper issue than just me getting a taco. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So not much, but ready for Cancun, bro. I'll tell you that. That's snapping my stick that I'm not there already, bro.
Ooh, I'm excited. But all right, everyone. Brandon Bond, I'm Bobby Butler. This has been Pucks Out Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Stay awesome.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.